Hey everybody, Logan here. Finally got one. Honestly, didn't think I was going to be able to. It's one of those where it was just extremely hard to get, and then when I did see third-party resellers, it was more than double the price, and I was like, I guess it ain't going to happen because I don't want to spend that much for, well, this type of hardware. Even though the Nintendo 64, yes, wait for it, is, in my opinion, the greatest gaming console of all time. Yes, I am that guy. I love the Nintendo 64, even though I started with the NES, where my first console was the original Nintendo. I really spent more time on the Nintendo 64 than anything. Would play with my buddies. They'd come over, we'd go over to their houses, and we'd play WCW, GoldenEye, you name it, No Mercy, 1080. We'd play a ton of games. Some of my favorite games of all time are on the Nintendo 64, like Ocarina of Time, GoldenEye, Mace the Dark Age, WCW, NWO Revenge, and others. So, yeah, and one of the greatest franchises of all time, Turok. I am Turok. I love that series. And that's where it all started, and I'm a big Nintendo 64 guy. So when I was able to see this, and I saw the price at my local game store, I went, give it to me. When they initially got it in, it was almost $500, and I was like, no. And then right as I went on vacation, I saw it in the store for $350, and I was like, it was a little much. I had some credit. I had recently gotten rid of some games, and I was like, you know what? Let me get it. So I ended up paying, out of pocket, $40 for it. And that is the Analogue 3D right here. The reason I didn't show it earlier is because, look, it's a black box, and you can just see a reflection. It is wrapped in cellophane, you know, the good shrink wrap. Now, what's funny is a couple days before it, when I was planning my vacation, this controller that I ordered was due to come in. It was shipped late to pretty much everybody, but I did get it. I have covered it before. I didn't want to bother, didn't want to do it again, so I unboxed it myself and just enjoyed it, and then, lo and behold, I found the Analogue. So, what we're going to do, we're going to unbox this here, and then, after I use it, whatnot, you're not going to see that, of course, because, come on, time. I'm going to tell you whether or not it's worth it, and it's going to be an unboxing and full review. And well, if you guys like this, maybe I'll do more stuff like this, not just controllers, but I do really love my retro hardware. It seems like you guys like more of the modern stuff when I cover that, but I'm a big retro guy. I'm a big Nintendo guy, and I love older Xbox and original PlayStation, if you will. And then if we're getting into Sega, it's really much the Game Gear and the Dreamcast, but those are my consoles. But how about I shut up now? Let's get into the unboxing. Here we go, the Analogue 3D. Pretty simple box, just black shrink wrapped in plastic. Now I do know some of the other larger YouTubers, some got them from the company, me not so much. A lot of them still needed to buy it, and I was one of those. But I totally forgot about it. It was one of those things I didn't pre-order, and once I saw it, I was like, dang, because it had just slipped my mind. But once I saw that my local game store had it, and then they dropped the price, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pick one of these up. And then, like I said, I also have the controller. Now, it does come with a standard black one from my understanding, but again, I haven't unboxed it yet. I do really like the gray. I like the classic Nintendo 64 design and style. Now, I did review the original white one, and it did have some issues. This one apparently cleared up the issues that I had with it. Especially the build quality was not there, but this one is significantly better. Now, let's take my little knife, not pulling out the large Zelda knife because I don't want to damage the box in any way. And if you guys are wondering, that's where the price tag was. So, and if you look on the back, it's got the Analogue. Now, this is not my first Analogue product. I got the Analogue Pocket, and I had a friend from church who was able to get quite a few of them. That was one of his like collecting things, and he knew how big I was into getting it, and because of work and whatnot, I wasn't able to stay online that day where they had a re-release, and he got one for me. So I was happy. I did a video on that a couple years ago, but here today we have the 3D, which again is the Nintendo 64, my favorite console. And my favorite handheld of all time would probably be the Game Boy Advance. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. There's no controller in here. I heard there was a controller with it. I'm glad I bought one. There's seriously no controller. Did you guys know that? I didn't watch any videos on it, and I was just like, wow, glad I bought one. Yes, you can use your original Nintendo 64 controllers with it, and I do have plenty of those, but I wanted the wireless, and I do not have any wired ones besides a Retro Fighters, which I accidentally broke the other day. Of course, my luck, but I'm glad I do have this one now. And it's FPGA, which is a hardware. It's actually hardware emulation at the root. Not really emulation. It emulates the hardware, so it's like running on natural hardware, from my understanding. It isn't like software emulation. So, wow. That looks amazing. I just missed the little feet, though. So let's see what we got over here. What's down in here? I don't know what that is. Cartridge cleaner. Oh, that's nifty. What is this? Instructions. With an FPGA sticker. Alrighty. Nifty. Power cable. Two different cables. We got Type C to Type C. This is a Type C, and then we have a Type... Oh, this is HDMI. That's a tiny HDMI cable. Yeah, that's HDMI. Okay. So at least we got HDMI and power cable, but no controller. That bums me out. I thought there was a controller in here. I did think it was a little small. Is there anything... No, there's nothing else in here, is there? No, nothing else under there. That's a bummer. I was hoping to get a black controller. Now I have to buy another one of these. I actually returned the original one to Amazon because of the issues that I was having with it, and I never bought another one. So I wasn't a big fan of that, but I took a risk on this one and got a new one. So now I'm going to have to buy a second one because I want two wireless ones for this, because I will actually be hooking this up in my living room. I originally had plans to hook it here in my game room, but I want some more retro gaming in my living room. I just recently got an original Xbox and the connections for that, so I'm putting that out there. Right now I have a PlayStation 5, I think, the Wii U, and an Xbox One. So I'm going to mix things up. I'm going to put this out there as well as the original Xbox, and I think I'm going to leave the PS5. So we'll see. Why is this giving me a Genesis vibe, even though it looks exactly like a 64 without the little feet? I don't know. But all right, next comes the review. We'll see. We'll see. Alrighty. So yeah, I have my opinion on the Analogue 3D now after playing it for a number of hours. And the footage you're seeing is just a small snippet of me testing it out. I connected it in my living room, so I figured, you know what? Instead of connecting it here and doing all the... Well, I'm going to test it where I'm going to be playing it. So I decided to do that a little bit differently, so the footage you're going to be seeing is just overlaid of me just chilling in my chair in the living room playing it on the TV. Now, I noticed quite a few issues. So what you're going to be seeing is from a couple different games, but I was playing quite a bit on San Francisco Rush before this, and I noticed these weird shadowing images that you'll see on some of these here. And I think what you're going to be seeing it the most on is Mystical Ninja Star and Gomon. But it was this weird shadowing, and I kept messing with all the filter types and whether I put it on CRT, BMV, and whatnot. And it turns out the one that I like the least, which is clear, is the one that gets rid of it. So I had to look it up to see which one would get rid of this weird shadow effect, and it's the one that I actually like the least. So I played with all the settings for a while, and in it, how do I say this? I'm not a fan. Do I enjoy playing it on my TV and having it look much better than the blurry mess when you're using all these third-party aftermarket cables on the Nintendo 64? Significantly. But in order to get it the best way for it to look, without having that weird shadow effect, I don't like clear. I like it to look more like it did because scan lines make the image look better. Otherwise, it's really not good. That's all I can really say about that. So I looked into it, and apparently there are updates. Did I update it right away? No, I just wanted to play it out of the box. There's an SD card slot in the back, and you can do it that way, but right out of the box, I wasn't too impressed. I was happy to play it on my TV. You could do all kinds of different features when you plug it in. One of the things that you see on the menu is a list of all the games that you've played. You can remove them or leave them there. I tried different games. Now there is one game that I do have a repro cart for, and you're going to see it here in the menu in one of these screenshots or one of these video captures. Is Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut? Yeah, I can't find a copy of that, and the last time I did, couldn't afford it. So I did get that. That's just to hold me over until I get the actual one, because I want a real one in the collection. But it worked as well, so I can't complain there. It looks like it will play pretty much anything I pop into it. I haven't tried any, what do you call it, like mock-up carts or fan games. Haven't tried any of those yet, but I will. I have some in a box, so I might dig those up and try those. But all the ones that I had on the shelf, I just went and grabbed about a half a dozen or so and just played those and see how each one looked, and I was okay with it. Do I think it's worth that $250? I paid $350. No, it's not as impressive as the Pocket was for me. Maybe I just need to spend more time with it, go through even more of the settings. I went through quite a bit, and I spent hours just trying to find. I found the one that I like the best. It's using the scan lines and professional mode, and it was the best. It was the one that I liked the most, and it got rid of some of the shadowing, not all of it. But yeah, I need to look more into that and see if there's any other updates that will get rid of this. But right out of the box, 7 out of 10. Like, if the price was lower, I would have given it a higher grade, higher ranking, whatever you want to call it. But I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. So is it overrated? I'm going to have to say yes right now. But I'm enjoying it. I'm a big Nintendo 64 guy. The N64 has been my favorite console of all time. Yes, I started on the NES and went to Super NES, but there was just something about the Nintendo 64 that holds a special place in my heart. And, well, that's what me and my buddies played quite a bit, whether it was WCW, NWO Revenge, No Mercy, GoldenEye, 1080, Snowboarding Mace, The Dark Age, Killer Instinct, you name it. We played it on their Mortal Kombat trilogy, San Francisco Rush, Cruising USA, so many great games. And one of my favorite franchises was born on there, which was Turok Dinosaur Hunter. So there's a lot of games on there, and honestly, the first place I played Resident Evil was on the Nintendo 64. That was Resident Evil 2 on the 64. Yes, I know, not the best version, but that's where I played it, and that's where I fell in love with the series. Come on, but is what it is, right? So I'll answer any questions that you have down in the comment section. Updates as time goes by. Say you ask me a question in 6 months and I see it, I'll answer it and tell you how I feel about it then. But I'm hoping it grows on me. I love the Pocket, the Analogue Pocket. Still use it, have it up on my shelf. Sometimes if I'm not using the Switch 2 is really taking over my handheld gaming right now. But I do take it down from time to time and play a lot of classic Game Boy games on there. So hopefully I keep doing this, but it's going to stay connected in my living room for the time being, and I'm going to enjoy it. And the funny thing is my wife had never played a Nintendo 64, so that's why I chose to hook it up out there. So I'm going to expose her to a plethora of amazing titles. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. God bless each and every one of you. Like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.